Hi everyone, welcome to this new class on how to have a profitable dropshipping business on eBay. Now before you dive deep into dropshipping, I would like you to understand some basics about dropshipping. First of all, you do not need to own any inventory. You just need to understand where is the source and how you can profit from the source. So this is very good, especially for someone that would like to try out e-commerce before investing into inventory. And there's also no storage overhead. Well, I'll explain to you in a while why there's no storage overhead here. Plus, basically, you just need to buy low, which is buying the price of the item at a low and selling it for profit. So this is the same concept as a stock market, just that you need to be aware of your inventory. Since you do not own your inventory, you need to have some form of tracking. And the best part is you can source it from anywhere. You can source it from offline sources, or you can source it from online e-commerce retailers, which I'll go through with you in the later part of the class. So there are main three advantages of dropshipping. First, like I mentioned, if you do not have a startup capital or you are just starting out, you might want to give dropshipping a try first because there is no upfront capital investment at all. And best part is you can operate anywhere as long as you have internet connections. Once you have the whole system set up, this is after you have set up the whole system. Plus, you can scale it. So with a system set up, scaling this dropshipping business basically is very simple. Like for myself, I actually hire someone to help me with some of the daily work. I will share with you in later part of the classes. So what you will learn in this class? Well, first of all, I would like to show you the big picture, what dropshipping is about and how far you can go. Then second, how to run it profitably. So a lot of people do not know how to run a profitable business. They just thought that by buying and selling, they actually make some profits. Well, it's actually you need to run the numbers and to know exactly how much you're making every single month. And why beginners to e-commerce need to start from here and not from any other shining object that you see that people promote out there, because you have not made your first dollar. So join me and enroll now, and I'll see you inside the class. Now today I'm going to show you what you can begin with. Well, it's actually to begin with the big picture. So I took some time to draw this mind map to show it to you what dropshipping is about. Now first of all, you see in the center, this is the business you're in, which is dropshipping. And then we can see that it's actually branched out to 6 other branches with different colors. First of all, you can see that this is the current system that I'm using to do my dropshipping business. So I would be sharing with you all the different components in the later parts of other classes. We will go in depth into all the software that is being used. So first of all, there is basically the product source that you need to know, the green branch, how you can source it from the online retailers. There are many online retailers that you can source it from. And second branch is the marketing. So marketing basically talk about what are the things that you can do on eBay. Basically, we're in this dropshipping business, we are only focusing on eBay as a marketplace where we sell our products. So on eBay, you can basically promote your listing, or you can actually do some RSS story feeds refresh. So I'll touch more on the marketing side in the later part of the class. And also customer service. Now owning a store is just a first step. You need to have customer service, where basically it's either you do all the job of the VA, which you can see from here, there's plenty of things that you need to do, or you basically do not want to run it yourself, you basically hire someone to do it. Yeah, so this is the part where you can scale. Next, the purple branch, we talk about order management. So when the order come in, what you supposed to do? Are you supposed to fill your order? Well, initially as a store owner, you should be doing it yourself up to a point whereby you're so busy that you can't even fulfill it. Probably till then you will need some kind of software or some management tool to help you, even hire a virtual assistant. And then we talk about the 2 other branches, which is the blue branch, the Hydra Lister, which is a listing software compatible with eBay. You can use this software to list multiple products. So if you have listed before on eBay, you understand that when you list manually, it will take you a lot of time. Before using this software, the Hydra Lister, I'll probably be listing 10 products in an hour. And after I used HydraLister, this software basically I could list close to 50 or 100 products per hour. And eventually you would want to also outsource this listing job to a VA. Next, we have this skill grid. So skill grid basically is a repricing tool. Also help you to track your inventory and track your sources. So you could be getting your sources from multiple sources, not just on Overstock or Amazon or Target. You could actually scale in this way. So without these two software, it is very hard for anyone who want to scale this business to grow, maybe from a 4-figure, 5-figure to a 6-figure business. So today in this section, I would like to touch a bit on the mindset for success. Now, mindset of success basically is very important, especially when you're starting to run business. A lot of people or a lot of question that I got is actually relating to the mindset. So first of all other business, you need to stay consistent and to build the momentum up. Especially when you are new into this business, you need to spend a lot of time. Basically, you could be spending like more than 10 hours just to get the business moving. Yeah, I'm not talking about getting the sales in, because there are a lot of steps that you need to learn to pick up at the same time, plus listing your products and understanding the market you're in. So you need to be consistent, build up a momentum. So if you're doing this part-time, probably you want to set some targets like doing 10 to 20 listing per day, and then build up the momentum. And of course, you need to find time to do it. And always believe in yourself that you can do it. And also you need to hustle, especially when you are new to this business. For example, you're on eBay waiting for feedbacks. So I always ask students to hustle the seller, ask them to give you the feedbacks, so that you can actually open a store, which I'll touch on the basics of dropshipping. Next, you have to overcome your fear. Now, some people, they always have this fear of selling products to another person. Well, if you have never sell anything online, or you have not actually collect any money online from another person, probably you have this fear. So what should I supposed to do after I collect the money? Will the person trust me to deliver the products? So you have 1001 question which already have been answered a million times. You can search for answers on Quora, etc., or even on Google. All this boils down to your mindset. What kind of belief do you have in yourself, and also how desirable that you want this business to work for you. Yes, of course, the last part is more like, yes, it's a business and it's not a hobby. Whether you do it part-time or full-time, you're a student, you just want to get started, it is a business. So business meaning to me, you need to have an all-time mindset. You could be on vacation, but your mind is still open for new opportunities, looking out like the latest products, or some of the products that's offline. That could be on the signboard, could be on the magazines, could be on the newspaper. Anything that you pick up along the way, you could actually write it down and do some research online, and probably that will be your next bestseller. Like mentioned, these three types of mindset, the part-time, full-time, and all-time mindset, have confused a lot of people. So some people say that working part-time, yeah, part-time 2 hours, but how about the rest of the hours when you're awake? So do you just switch off the business, or you basically thinking about it and how to scale it, how to get more sales? So as a part-timer, full-timer, you basically need to have an all-time mindset. And last but not least, never give up. Because you could be very close to success. So after you started this business, maybe for the first month you only get less than 50 sales or 30 sales, and on the second month basically you get more sales, like 50 sales to 100 sales, and eventually get to 300 sales per day. So that is the point where you get to the level where you can start thinking about scaling. A lot of people would give up along the way. That is for sure. That's why only 1% or 3% of the population in any country succeed in any form of business where they are in to be the market leader. So this is very true for a lot of people, and for a lot of newbies, especially they just started out doing something new. So always remember, never give up, and find your reason why you should do it, and not the reason that why you should not do it. Okay, so this is a very interesting topic that I always get on pricing strategy, and it also get myself going for a while in terms of researching on the pricing strategy. So throughout the years, I have noticed something about the pricing strategy that I would like to share with you. First of all, the ROIs, the return on investment, matters a lot to you. So there's no point selling products that you only make 1% to 3% margin. And if you are really into this competition on pricing, then I would say that stay away from this business. So eBay plus Amazon marketplace. I'm sure that everyone have been on eBay and bought something on eBay and on Amazon. So do you see that there is a difference in pricing? Probably you never notice or you never compare, and you are used to eBay or used to Amazon marketplace. They just keep on buying from there. So this is the similar concept where you shop offline. So there are definitely some store that you prefer over another, and through this basically there's a price difference. So certain item could be selling more expensive on eBay and actually cheaper on Amazon, and vice versa. So this is the part where dropshipper makes the profits. So some of the gurus basically tells you to price your item at least 1.4 times when you add in all the fees that you can think of, like the eBay fees, PayPal fees, whatever fees that you can think of, or less. Well, I could say that throughout my experience, this 1.4 times is not really very accurate. It actually depends on the niche or the products you have chosen. You need to understand what the market is willing to pay. That is the most important. So just to give you an example, say example you want to sell away a cup, a Starbucks cup. So you bought offline maybe for $20, and the online price basically people are willing to pay up to $100. So why is this so? It could be due to the mug itself is a limited edition. It could also due to the fact that it is a very limited, or it could be due to the fact that you are the first listing that that particular person see at that particular moment that they decided to buy it from you. Okay, now some people, they do not compare prices when they shop online, especially when they're new on certain platform. So I could sum up that basically there are 3 stages that you need to be aware of when coming to pricing, especially when you're a beginner or when you slowly move up to become an experienced seller and a competitive seller. So in the next section, let's take a look at the 3 stages. Okay, the 3 stages that I would like you to be aware of, especially when you're a beginner. Well, your job now as a beginner, after you have a store, is to aim to get more sales in. Now this is very important and crucial, especially your first 100 sales. We are talking about sales from the eBay marketplace. So always price yourself slightly lower, but with enough profit margins to cover. This is basically true if you need to factor in the eBay fee and the PayPal fee, and all these fees basically you can work out to about 12%. And of course, when you source for item, the cost price plus the tax that you need to pay. So all this in, probably you'll be looking at about 20%, 18 to 20% while you're starting out to price your item. So in this way, you actually get more sales in faster. So after you have some experience in selling more than 100 items, and you know what exactly the market willing to pay, you try to aim for higher margin like from 35% to 40%. So 40% is just so-called the highest margin level that most guru would ask the student to go for. But personally, I don't think there is a fixed margin that you should set for yourself. Certain products can go up to 2 times or at least more than 80% profit margin. This is especially true. Do not take it as a fixed percentage margin that you must make, because your overall sales at the end of the month is your final number that you're going to get. You could be aiming for 20% or 25% return based on the products that are sold. So like I've said, most of the top seller, they are probably getting around 28 to 30% return. And if you are just starting out, 18 to 20% per month is a very good momentum for you to build up. So once you become more competitive, or you have achieved at least 1,000 sales, or at least you've sold 1,000 products, you can actually think about competing with the market. Aim for volume, meaning that you try to sell more certain products that you could be selling at 5% margin, while the rest of the product you could make it out by selling at 40 to 50% margin, because you already hit certain level of competitiveness, plus you are able to get better discount, and you know where to get certain rebates or discounted cut. So this way you actually could sell even more. Okay, the 3 stages that I would like you to be aware of, especially when you're a beginner. Well, your job now as a beginner, after you have a store, is to aim to get more sales in. Now this is very important and crucial, especially your first 100 sales. We are talking about sales from the eBay marketplace. So always price yourself slightly lower, but with enough profit margins to cover. This is basically true if you need to factor in the eBay fee and the PayPal fee, and all these fees basically you can work out to about 12%. And of course, when you source for item, the cost price plus the tax that you need to pay. So all this in, probably you'll be looking at about 20%, 18 to 20%, while you're starting out to price your item. So in this way, you actually get more sales in faster. So after you have some experience in selling more than 100 items, and you know what exactly the market willing to pay, you try to aim for higher margin like from 35% to 40%. So 40% is just so-called the highest margin level that most guru would ask the student to go for. But personally, I don't think there is a fixed margin that you should set for yourself. Certain products can go up to 2 times, or at least more than 80% profit margin. This is especially true. Do not take it as a fixed percentage margin that you must make, because your overall sales at the end of the month is your final number that you're going to get. You could be aiming for 20% or 25% return based on the products that you have sold. So like I've said, most of the top seller, they are probably getting around 28 to 30% return. And if you are just starting out, 18 to 20% per month is a very good momentum for you to build up. So once you become more competitive, or you have achieved at least 1,000 sales, or at least you've sold 1,000 products, you can actually think about competing with the market. Aim for volume, meaning that you try to sell more certain products that you could be selling at 5% margin, while the rest of the product you could make it out by selling at 40 to 50% margin, because you already hit certain level of competitiveness, plus you are able to get better discount, and you know where to get certain rebates or discounted cut. So this way you actually could sell even more. Okay, in this section we talk about the accounting for your business, which is very important. Now most beginners, they thought just by selling products every single day and fulfilling orders, they actually make money. Well, I can tell you, at the end of the day, you might not be even breaking even. So you need to track the sales almost daily or almost weekly. Now track your ROI using the Google Drive. It's free. You can use the Google spreadsheet over there and come up with a table. So if you need, I would basically share a link to you where you can actually download this spreadsheet, track your ROI, the item that you sold, and also track your costs. The cost, I will actually refer to the expenses that you are going to spend, maybe on software, on hiring people, and also on the standard fixed fee like the eBay store fee. So when you're starting out, you basically will have a basic store, and you need to know in numbers what is your monthly income. So how much are you making every single month? If you have tracked, you would see that dropshipping business more or less not exactly a linear graph, but it is an exponential graph, depending on the months that you are on, and depending on which month you get into your selling momentum, so you definitely reach a moment, or you definitely reach a stage whereby there is a selling momentum coming in, meaning that you are getting more than 10 sales or 20 sales per day. So eventually, getting sales is not the ultimate goal. What you want is the profit margins that you are going to get, and how much you can is returning to you every single month. Okay, let's talk about the scalability of dropshipping business in this section. You can actually semi-automate your listing by using software. Like I mentioned, there's Hydra Lister and there's SkillGrid, which I'll show you in the later part of classes how to use these two software. Just a quick one, basically just to let you know how powerful it is when you use software. Without software, you basically cannot scale, and you won't be able to automate any part of it, and still you'll be one person running the business, which is you're limiting yourself in terms of the amount of money you could make from out of this business. And software basically also help you to track inventory. This is very true, because I'm not sure how I can track thousands of products without tracking tools. Say for example, I have 10 sources, or I have basically just one sources. I want to know whether the products that I'm going to sell, is it still in stock or out of stock. So only through tracking software like SkillGrid, you can actually do repricing, and you can also track the item when it was out of stock. And also the best part is you can also view the history price, what is the highest price the item is selling for, and what is the lowest price. So in this way, you'll be able to understand the market, and also to reprice your item on eBay to be competitive enough. Also, you can start to hire virtual assistant, or so-called I'll call it the ACE team, to help you to scale your business. And before you hire a virtual assistant, you need to basically prepare your documentations. How basically you run your business in terms of the technicality that you want to outsource. How should they fulfill your order? What customer service supposed to do, and what the eBay lister or order management team should do. So this is the last stage where you fully will automate this business. Okay, the eBay marketplace for selling. So in this section, let's take a look at why we are choosing this eBay platform to sell. First of all, it's easy to list and track. So you have sold on eBay before, you know that it's very easy to list, and to track is you can always go to the seller hub, where everything is there, is transparent to you. You know exactly how much you are selling, how much it's costing you to run eBay store, per transaction fee that you need to pay, whether to eBay or to PayPal, is all clearly listed out, unlike certain platforms where you do not know. For example, you want to ship an item on Amazon, probably just guessing how much it costs, so you would not know exactly how much it costs until you ship it out. Profit clarity basically refers to how much you are actually making. And from eBay's for the eBay marketplace, you can easily calculate your profits. Like mentioned in the previous section, that you need to use a spreadsheet to track it on your own. And of course, one secret weapons of eBay that a lot of people doesn't know is that eBay basically advertise your products or your item on multiple platforms. Google is the number one platform which you can be sure that people are finding products. So if you're selling hot products or trending products, and your product happens to be on the first page of Google and linking to your eBay store, you will get the sales. So that is how sales happen. It's not necessary that I must go to eBay to do a search and to search for particular products. The chances is in this way you might not land yourself onto the sales, because there are thousands and thousands of sellers. So you can compete basically based on certain SEO titles. Another way to do it is that you can push your listing via the promoted listing on eBay, whereby you choose the percentage that you wish to give your product sell. So this is a very different so-called marketing system, unlike Google AdWords or Facebook, where you pay per click, someone click on it. So this platform basically gives you the authority to say how much you wish to pay. It's like eBay taking additional commission if your product sells, if I promote for you, or to be the top listing, or to become a sponsored ad. You only pay when someone buy. It's not charging you by number of clicks. So you can get 10,000 clicks which you do not need to pay a single cent. So isn't it good? So at the same time, you could be getting sales for your other products which you are not promoted on. So this could be a cross promotion for you. Okay, so when selling on eBay, basically a lot of students will have issues like, what if the my competition is selling more expensive than me, or what if the competition is selling so much lower than me? So first of all, you need to define your customer avatar. What kind of customer are you targeting? Then you could actually reprice or price according to your customer profile. So it is basically a very simple concept. Buyer actually buys on impulse. Yeah, some people, they just go online, they search something and find it on eBay, or eBay appear in front of them and they just click buy it now, and it happened to be a listing, and congratulations, you have made a sale. So this is how the market is working at this moment, be it any form of market. So do not always price yourself as the lowest, and do not compare pricing. So this is my customer avatar. I know that my customer do not compare pricing. So if they do compare pricing, they won't be my customer. They probably will be the customer of the eBay seller that's pricing themselves at the lowest price, which they just make only like 0.5% profit or 1% profit. And you also need to have the best match titles products. So if you are selling something like for example, a Starbucks mug, what is your title you should actually have? Is it like 100% guaranteed nice beautiful Starbucks mug? So basically what you want to do is always have your main keyword in front, and then you talk about the feature or the color or the size, etc. The least important thing will come later. So if you know how to target the right keywords, you definitely will be placed in front of the customer first. So when you go to eBay and do a search, especially if you want to search for a certain thing, eBay basically use something called the best match. Yeah, so they want to give the buyer a good experience. For example, I'm looking for something red, don't show me something that is black, right? You can actually do a search for example, a red cap, and see which are the red caps that showing up. Do they give you a black cap? No, right? Best match title of products is very important. So a lot of sellers, they just wholesale, just take the listing that they find and they just list it. They are experienced seller and they are selling a lot, probably they could do that. But if you're just starting out, this is the only way for you to compete based on title keywords. And of course, most of the time you'll be selling the product new, and customer love free shipping. So free shipping is the must if you want to do drop shipping. If not, you will not be doing this business as a drop shipper. Okay, do not price compete, I mentioned before, because you want price compete, those are not your customer. Those belongs to those people who are willing to take a very small cut when someone buys from them. Okay, those are not your customer. You must understand who is your targeted customer. Okay, in this section, let's take a look at why beginners should start with drop shipping business. Now basically, as a beginner, you might not know how the selling process works. So the best is to leverage on the existing marketplace like Amazon, eBay, all the big players that you know, they have millions of ready buyer. And you need to know one part which is very important, is how to handle your customer. So As you start to sell more and more item, you meet more and more different kind of customer, and different customer might have different requests, and you also need to know how to handle like refunds, or maybe your customer or the shipment is lost. So you need to learn how to handle all these things before you start your own e-commerce store. And best of all, you will also start to learn how to get a return on investment from dropshipping by tracking your numbers. And you do not need to spend money on setting up a website or to get someone to maintain your website. And the upfront cost basically is required when you have a website. You need to buy hosting, you need to maintain it, you need to update it, you need to basically get the inventory of your own. So all this can be avoided from the start. Once you get more experience, then you move on to the next stage. Anyone can start today. Yep, even if you have a very low capital, say $100, you can after you have gotten your feedbacks, you can just set up a store and you can start doing dropshipping. So class summary. What you have learned in this class, basically I've shown you how to run a profitable dropshipping business, and I've shown you the big picture that you need to keep in mind, especially once you want to scale it. And the main reason why dropshipping is beginner friendly, and what you need to take note, especially when you are new, you need to learn from the start. Then you can progress out to the next level. And with this, I'll come to the end of the class. Thank you for joining this class. Do check out my other classes on the topic of dropshipping. I'll see you in the next class.